Morning, Madam Parveen. How are you doing?
Gorgeous, good morning. I'm pretty good. Thanks for asking and
Uh,
let me know. How are you?
I am pretty well. I am full of beans and I am fit as fiddle, you can see. Earlier I
Oh,
was not,
that's
but
good.
I am fit as fiddle now.
Mhm.
How was your
Right
day?
now, how is your health?
Now I'm okay. I'll tell you. I am pretty well. I am completely okay right now. I
Okay.
got a malaria a couple of days ago, as I told you. I got a malaria a couple of days ago, but now I am fine. This is the second meeting, isn't it? This is our
Yes,
second meeting
yes. It's
on a.
absolutely correct. The first, yeah, you visit on my channel, and right now I'm visiting your channel. Yes, it is
Absolutely,
the second meeting.
absolutely. So why don't you introduce yourself? Why don't you introduce your channel to my audience that people would know about you and about your channel? Why don't you tell something? Put
Okay, thanks for
light.
giving me this
Yeah.
opportunity. I would like to introduce myself. I am Nusrat. I am from Maharashtra. Basically, I live in Aurangabad. By the profession, I am yoga teacher as well as dietitian, and I recently started a YouTube channel.
Okay.
That's
What's
it.
what's your channel name?
English with Nusrat.
English with Nusrat. Why English with Nusrat? Why not Nusrat with English? Just kidding. Okay,
Yeah, it's according to the grammar. English with Nusrat. It's
that's
correct.
that's true. That's true. Okay, then what type of content do you make?
Yeah, if I talk about content, I usually prefer to keep the content related to tips and tricks, how to
Mm,
improve your English and
mm,
some phrases,
mm,
idioms,
mm,
storytellings, and
mm,
conversation
mm,
podcast. That's
I
it.
see.
And
Okay,
some related to grammar topic also.
I see. Wow, that's great. Fantastic. Fantastic. But don't you know, or don't you realize that nowadays people are interested in a conversation video more than a grammar video? They want to know the grammar. They want to learn grammar, but the way they're consuming the knowledge is different now. That they want to learn grammar as well as in a conversation style. Don't you think? Don't you realize it through data that most of the
Yeah,
people.
I realized that nowadays people prefer to watch the conversation video podcast because they observe whenever they watch any grammar video.
Mhm.
Learning grammar is a different part, and
Mhm.
using in a conversation is a different part. And
Yeah,
they came to know. If you practice watching video conversation, then it will be fruitful. How to use all the grammar in our conversation.
absolutely. That's how a children learn. They don't learn a grammar. Although grammar is essential. Okay, grammar is essential. But we YouTubers, we cannot say the YouTubers, the conversations completely change the scenario of the grammar. That whatever people are learning, they are learning grammar, conversation, communication skill, everything they are learning through podcast. And
Yes, definitely.
isn't it? It's quite.
Yeah, definitely. Why I watch so many video related to grammar. They using grammar in podcast
Yeah,
with the help of the flashcard also.
I see.
Describe the scenario. In
Yeah,
this way, they teach us.
I see.
And
Absolutely.
this way is a fantastic. We can say we can learn the grammar in a funny way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My style is different. I usually prefer to share the grammar related portion with one of my friend, Mr. Anand. You might have seen the video. We have uploaded couple of the video related to the grammar, and we both, share our opinion during the live conversation that I ask Mr. Anand's opinion, and if I convince or if I disagree, so I put my opinion in front of the audience. That's how people are learning both grammar as well as conversation. This is win-win situation for both, for teachers as well as learners, that are grabbing easily, quickly. In order to learn a grammar, they have to completely focus on a grammar, but implementing while communicating, it's quite different for them.
Implementing is a different part of.
implementing.
I have seen in my
Yeah.
journey they are
Mhm.
good at grammar,
Yeah.
but they are not fluent speaker
Ah.
because they always think in your mind.
Mm.
This sentence is correct according to grammar. Before speaking, they kept on thinking in
I
your
see.
mind.
I
That's
see.
the reason
I
they
see.
can't speak fluently.
So how did you learn? You tell me. What's your story? How you learned? You learned through traditional style? Traditional style you learn, or you learn a new style? That the conversation style, debate style. How did you
New style, new
occupy?
style. If I talk a new style, that
Mm.
means a conversation. Only
Okay.
I exchange my words with anyone. Uh, so many application whenever I get to spare time, and
Mm-hmm.
in this way I learn. And if I talk about the vocabulary and grammar, it helps to improve in this technique narrating the story. It is the best.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yes.
Narrating story. What do you mean narrating
And
story?
what about you? What about you? Tell me.
Yeah, I'll tell you. That's true. That's a very good question. But you tell me, what is narrating a story? Is there any technique? Do you have that through narrating a story we learn English? What would like to tell the audience?
Yes, narrating a story. Suppose that if you watch any video related to animation story, and
Mm-hmm.
after that you narrate this story on your words,
Okay.
then you will get to idea what
Mm-hmm.
is your level, what
Okay.
is your graphic power, EQ,
Okay.
EQ and EQ. IQ, international intelligence quotation, and EQ,
Okay.
emotional quotation.
I
We
see.
can command the both of.
Okay. I see. That's great. But I learned through conversation. Okay, I learned through, but although, it doesn't mean that I learned completely through conversation. I watched or I studied lots of grammar as well. And not only studied, I research in a stand. I try to tackle that particular grammar in a different and various situation. That if this situation, how we can use this grammar. If this situation occur, how can we use this particular grammar. That's how I learned English. And still I'm learning. I cannot say I know completely. No. I consider myself I'm a learner. I'm still learning. I learn new thing every day, especially vocabulary, because we have uncountable number of vocabulary.
Okay. So how do you remember the vocabulary for long term? Because I also learn many vocabulary, but when I speak with someone, the
Mhm.
always old vocabulary come on my tongue.
Okay.
So
Well,
what should I do?
people wants to eat hot biryani, hot dog. They cannot wait until it gets cold. Okay. So my
Mhm.
what I'm trying to say to the people that wait,
They don't have to patient.
they don't have a patience. They are impatient. For that, I'll recommend my people, you tackle one vocabulary a day.
Okay.
Take a one vocabulary. Take one vocabulary and try to implement in your conversation that how can you use that particular vocabulary in a present simple present tense, simple past tense. What if the vocabulary comes under noun, adjective? What is the
Mhm.
synonyms of that particular vocabulary? What is the antonyms of that particular vocabulary? And use deliberately
Wow.
use when you are talking with someone, but only concentrate on one vocabulary. Well, I have seen lots of people, they try and remember five vocabulary, six vocabulary, and when it comes to the result, they forget everything. They cannot even remember one vocabulary. So the technique is, our mind is like that. If I'll tell you eat 10 kg biryani together within a one sitting, would you be able to eat the biryani? Tell me, within a one sitting
No,
10
no,
kg.
no,
How long it
no.
would
And
take? Tell me.
even we can't eat and we can't digest. The first thing we can't eat.
First of all, that you cannot have
Yeah, the
it.
question is no question to arise to digest.
Just,
We
just
can't eat.
we cannot eat. The main thing is that you cannot even have that biryani in a one. Even you cannot have half kg also. I'll tell you, according to your
Yes.
physics. According to your physics, you cannot even have a 100 gram biryani also, madam. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah. Before eating, I will start it thinking. Oh my God, how much calorie? It is so
Ah,
busy.
so
You're absolutely correct.
So the same thing applies over here. Our body has a limitation. Our mind has a limitation. Our body and our mind cannot observe, cannot digest this much knowledge together. It takes time. So what is the right method is take one vocabulary and research on that particular vocabulary, that how can we use this particular vocabulary in a simple present tense, present continuous tense, past continuous tense, everything coming. Okay, if I'm telling the vocabulary, everything is there. Either it could be a adjective, adverb, a verb, a noun, it could be anything.
Yeah,
One word is,
definitely. I love way of your teaching.
yeah,
In this way, we learn synonym, antonyms, and how to use these words in a noun, adjective, adverbs, and
yeah,
in a different tenses. Definitely, we never forget.
absolutely. So this is we
This is
call
the
the
best way.
research. This is we call the research. You know, hold your mind on a one particular area and squeeze it, completely squeeze it. Okay,
Okay.
that being a yoga teacher, this is my responsibility to ask you regarding some questions to your subject, that I got a migraine. Is there any yoga available? Is there any yoga you would like to recommend me for migration? Like migraine, not a
Ye-
migration, migraine. I have a migraine. Do you understand
Migraine.
migraine problem?
Yes, I understand the migraine problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a common problem. So many
Mhm.
students are suffering this problem.
Mhm. But
We have avoid.
before going ahead,
Tell me, what do you want to say?
I want to
Huh?
know that what causes migraine? Why migraine happens? Do you have any idea for that?
Yeah. Yes, I have idea because it's my field. I have
Absolutely
a lot of
then.
knowledge about it and how to sort it and how to get rid of from this pain.
I see.
If someone under the too much stress, yeah,
Okay.
suppose that someone is using too much social media, they
Okay.
couldn't sleep, and in the matter of fact, they suffer the migraine problems.
Okay.
And eat healthy foods and
Mm.
take on the time and
Mm-hmm.
proper diet. I like to say the balanced diet. And
Mm-hmm.
if you are suffering migraine problem, so you immediately you
Mm.
can take one fennel cakes, one or two fennel cakes,
What is
and one
final
cup
cut?
of lukewarm water. Fennel cakes mean jalebi.
Okay. Wow. Wait, look at that new
Yes,
word. I didn't know. I didn't know the funnel cake.
yes,
It's a jalebi. Imarti. Very
yes,
good.
fennel cake. Yeah,
Funnel
two
cake.
fennel cakes and one fennel cake.
Uh,
It's up to you.
okay.
And one cup of lukewarm water and
Okay.
eat. And
Okay.
immediately you will get rid of from the migraine. And you should do the pranayams, anulom vilom,
Mm.
and jalniti also,
Okay.
and forward bending asana
Okay.
and nasya
I
we need
see.
to do.
I see. I see. So fennel cake. When should we? What is the right time to have a fennel cake? Empty stomach, full stomach, at night, in the middle of the day, or in the early morning?
Yeah, it is a greasy foods, but you can take in a breakfast because it has a lots of calorie. But
Okay.
on the spot, immediately you face too much migraine problem because
Mm.
it is whenever this problem is started now, it is too much headaches.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Migraine.
Okay.
Sometimes the students feel the dizziness also due to the migraine,
Okay. Yeah.
and there is no time limit. We can face this problem. This pain happens in late night also,
Yeah.
in midnights, in the morning. So
Mhm.
immediately you can take it.
Absolutely.
It is better than any pills in my point of view.
Okay. Is there any medicine you'd like to recommend? Is there any quick relief
No, I don't
which you
like
get?
to. I don't like to recommend any medicine. I always prefer to sort out the problem in a natural way.
But
Yoga and diet.
okay, natural way takes long time. I'll take you about the Ayurvedic. This is we
No,
call the
no.
Ayurvedic allopathy. No, this is not a allopathy. This is Ayurveda. And yoga also comes under your Ayurveda. Am I right? But what if a person is about to die? Okay, through this pain.
Ayurveda. What does mean is the Ayurveda. This word is a combination of the two words. We
Okay,
get this word from the Sanskrit language.
okay.
Ayu, that means a life. Veda means a knowledge. The knowledge of life. That means Ayurveda. If you have the knowledge of about your life, how can you face any problem?
Very good. But I don't have your questions answer because this is not the field of mine. But I'll tell you the
Yes.
for example, for let's suppose I am the person. I have a migraine, and I am suffering like a hell. I'm getting sick like a hell. So, do you think I'll wait for the funnel cake and I'll wait for the breakfast early morning? I'll no. I want a quick
Okay.
relief.
You
I want a quick
okay.
relief.
You don't have to sufficient time to go to the market and to buy the funnel cake.
Yeah.
In this matter of fact, you can do the anulom vilom and
Mm,
sell. So if you have
mm,
any oils, like the name of oil,
mm.
badami rogan shiri, you
Okay.
can take a one drop in right nostril and lie
Mm,
down on your back. And
mhm.
after 2 minutes, you put on the two drops in the another nostril.
Okay.
In this way, it's called to this technique is in
Okay.
nuts here.
Okay.
And
But
Jalniti also, it is the best technique for
okay.
migraine.
Okay. But even this method takes time to effect on the body. It doesn't mean that it effects suddenly, promptly. It takes time, isn't it? Isn't it, madam?
Yeah, it takes to time only 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Okay.
And there are so acupressure point also. We
Okay.
can praise the acupressure's points,
Mm.
occipital bones.
Okay. Over here.
Occipital's bone, there is the behind your ear. Yeah,
Okay.
you can praise
Okay. Here.
at least 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Praise and again slow.
Mhm.
You should do 2 minutes.
Absolutely. Okay, what is the main cause of exact cause of migraine? Why migraine happen?
Anxiety,
Anxiety.
anxiety.
Anxiety. But I get a migraine problem when I don't eat on time or when I spend more time in front of computer or in front of books or in front of
I have
mobile phone.
already told you now.
Yeah.
You maximum spend the time with social media, continuously
Ah,
contact.
I
Yeah,
see. Absolutely.
its impact on your ears, brain.
That's great. Look at that. Look at that. This is we call that people through our conversation. This is the conversation we call that impactful conversation that we are give providing them a meaning, and we are adding some value in their life. How we are adding the value? Through conversation they are learning English, and you have added spices by giving the idea of the yoga, by giving the idea knowledge of the migraine problem. So look at that, this type of conversation is very good for the learners, that they are getting lots of knowledge as well as they are
Yeah,
learning
we
English.
can do the simultaneously, both of things, learning and
Yeah,
grasping the knowledge also.
absolutely.
If you want to learn any skill,
Hmm.
I'm really into the learning English. I
Hmm.
always prefer to discuss some topic,
Yeah,
current affair also.
yeah, yeah.
And if you are you interested in a beautician's
Mhm.
courses,
Mhm.
cookings, so
Okay,
you should discuss about it. Definitely, you will learn this vocabulary, phrases, idioms related to that conversation.
but
In this way, we can do the both of things simultaneously.
But for that, we need an opponent likewise. What if the opponent is weak? I shouldn't say weak. What if the opponent is a beginner? He would not be able
Mhm.
to answer all my questions or your questions. For
Okay.
example, somebody is sitting in front of you, a beginner person. How would he answer all of your questions? He would only answer, oh, yeah, right. No, thank you. That's great.
Problem is not only the English language. Suppose
Okay.
that you are a beginner and
Okay.
I'm discussing some related to yoga, and
Okay.
then you didn't get what I'm saying to you. The
Ah,
problem is that the knowledge, you don't have knowledge,
ah,
that you can't open your mouth in
ah,
each language, not only
absolutely.
English, your
Okay.
mother tongue also.
Absolutely. So you are trying to say over here that we must have the knowledge.
Yes, knowledge is a power.
Absolutely. That's true. Knowledge is a power. That's true. That's true.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much for sharing the knowledge. I hope our learners, our viewers, will take some benefits. What should I say? That English benefits as well as yoga benefits. So, would you like to tell the
Yeah,
people
thank you
that,
so much.
yeah,
Yes,
that,
yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to. I enjoyed the conversation with
mm,
you, and it
mhm.
was a great conversation. I learned so many things from you.
Absolutely,